Hey everybody, it's Dr. Will Cole. We're live here in our Functional Medicine Health Center in Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania, where we see patients around the world via webcam and phone consultations. About 75% of our patients are done via Skype and FaceTime and other sort of webcam interfaces. And for those of you joining us here for the first time, whether you're here live or you're watching this on replay, hello. We've been doing these Tuesdays at 2 p.m. where we talk about different functional medicine health topics. We dive into the research and the science, but yet hopefully provide you practical health tips for you to implement into your life. For those of you who do not know what functional medicine is, check back our past Facebook videos and you'll be able to learn more about this exciting field of healthcare that's customized natural medicine, that's evidence-based, based on your labs to find out the root issues of why you're going through what you're going through. So again, we coach people around the world with people with autoimmune inflammation issues, people with hormonal problems like adrenal fatigue, which we'll talk about today, thyroid problems, digestive problems, people with leaky gut syndrome and candida overgrowth and IBS, constipation, things like this, and brain issues like anxiety, depression, brain fog. These are the people that I have a heart for, I have a passion for, being a part of the health journey and finding out the pieces to their health puzzle to be a part of their journey into health. So yeah, we're excited to talk with you today about adrenal fatigue and a little bit of background on myself. Again, for those of you who do not know why the heck I'm talking about this stuff, my doctorate is from Southern California University of Health Sciences in Los Angeles, and my postdoctorate education and training is through the Institute for Functional Medicine and Functional Medicine University, basically studying functional medicine and clinical nutrition. That's where we kind of dig into the logistics of your health and finding out these core issues of why people are going through health issues. So today we're going to talk about adrenal fatigue. Adrenal fatigue is one of those buzzy words over the past years. I've written a lot about it. I'm one of mindbodygreen.com's, one of the biggest and best health websites in the world, one of their course instructors and wellness experts where I get to talk about these different health topics. So I write a lot about it. Every week we're writing multiple stuff about things like this. And adrenal fatigue is something that people hear, and they, obviously the word fatigue's in it and adrenals in it, and they think the connotation is stress and not feeling well. So people get a basic idea of it. But what is the technical aspect of it? You have what's called the hypothalamic pituitary adrenal axis, or the brain adrenal communication line. And your adrenal glands are like little kidney tassel caps or baseball caps that sit on top of your kidneys, and they're kind of regulating a lot of different hormones like cortisol, the main stress hormone, and DHEA and adrenaline, your body's adaptation to stress and other hormones. So cortisol has a bad rap, doesn't it? People think, oh, it makes me hold on to weight around my midsection, it's a stress hormone, therefore it's demonized and it's bad. Well, like anything else in the body, it's not inherently bad when you're talking about these things like this. It's just about balance. It's subject to the Goldilocks principle. You don't want too much of it, you don't want too little of it, you just want it just right. And for cortisol, you want it just right at the right time. So with cortisol, you have a circadian rhythm, this sort of cortisol roller coaster. That's not a roller coaster. It's like a nice little S-shaped curve. It's a very lame roller coaster. If you were on it, you wouldn't be much thrilled. This is cortisol balanced. It's supposed to be higher in the morning to wake you up, to have an optimal morning, you feel great, and a nice circadian rhythm, S-shaped curve throughout the day, lower in the evening to allow serotonin, your feel-good, happy neurotransmitter, to then be converted into melatonin, your sleepy time hormone, to allow you to get a good night's rest. Adrenal fatigue is, this isn't happening. So your cortisol is not where you should be. It's cortisol imbalance. So adrenal fatigue can be cortisol higher when it should be lower. It could be always high. It could be always low. It could be erratically, like a very fun roller coaster. But to go through this hormonally, it's anything but fun. So people with adrenal fatigue really can wreck your health. It's something that I've struggled with in the past. I've written about my own journey on drwillcole.com, and it's something that I take very seriously for people that are going through this right now. So let's talk about it. It's cortisol imbalance. Again, it's not an inherent adrenal problem. It's not Addison's disease or autoimmune adrenal dysfunction. That is something something different. We're dealing with a brain-adrenal communication line. It's your adrenal glands are like little employees that just want to do what the brain's telling it to do, but the brain is not speaking to it in a balanced, proper way. So it's speaking too loudly or not enough, or loud when it should be quiet, or quiet when it should be loud. It's this cortisol imbalance that leads and contributes to things like adrenal fatigue, and can also contribute to thyroid problems, because you also have what's called the hypothalamic pituitary thyroid axis. So for those of you joining us live, and for those of you joining us on replay, as I'm talking about all this cool health stuff, you can comment section below your questions, and we will answer them live if you're asking them right on live. If you're watching them on replay, we will type up an answer for you over the coming weeks. So be sure to ask questions, guys. All right, so statistically, more than 1 million Americans in the United States, naturally, have chronic fatigue syndrome. It's something that's debilitating. It's something that's widely underdiagnosed. And even when they are diagnosed, you're not really given many options when you feel really tired and fatigued. Adrenal fatigue is one aspect of CFS, or chronic fatigue syndrome. So it's something that you definitely, if you're going through chronic fatigue syndrome, to take into consideration to look at the brain-adrenal axis communication, or what's commonly termed as adrenal fatigue. So we talked about what adrenal fatigue is. It's really a brain-based issue that's affecting your hormones, affecting your adrenal glands. So what are some common symptoms if you're going through adrenal fatigue? This is your own adrenal fatigue quiz, guys. So we have actually, we'll put in the comment section below, we do have a proper written, electronic written adrenal fatigue quiz. So if you want to look from typing your own, all your questions with the expanded version of it, click the comment section below. Yvette just put it on there, adrenal fatigue quiz. So what are some common signs of adrenal fatigue? Get a pen and paper out, check yes or no, guys. Craving sugary and salty foods. So if you get hangry, that's hungry and angry's evil child. If you get hangry in between meals, you get ravenous and you crave salty food, you crave sugary foods, especially in the afternoon. You get that afternoon slump. This may be adrenal fatigue. The second thing would be the afternoon slump of energy, where you just need to take a nap, or you wish you could take a nap. You need to like down tons of sugar or caffeine to get through the day. The next one would be lower libido, or lower sex drive. That's another symptom of adrenal fatigue. Getting a second wind in the evening. So you're tired during the day. You get that afternoon slump in energy, feeling super tired then. But then you get a second wind in the evening, and you can't fall asleep, and you have this burst of energy, and you're like, where the heck has this energy been all day when I actually needed it? This is another common symptom of adrenal fatigue. The next one would be can't stay asleep. Because of this cortisol rhythm dysfunction, and because of the melatonin disturbance that's happening, people with adrenal fatigue can have sleep disturbances. Not always, but oftentimes. They'll wake up in the middle of the night and have this sort of surge of adrenaline. They have trouble sleeping in general. That's another common symptom of adrenal fatigue. Again, it's hormones imbalanced. Next one would be afternoon headaches. That's another common symptom of adrenal fatigue. Blood sugar issues. Cortisol is one determinant or influencer of blood sugar. So getting reactive hypoglycemia, low blood sugar, feeling that hangriness, feeling weak and shaky. That's another common symptom of adrenal fatigue. Mood swings is another common symptom of adrenal fatigue. Being irritable and not feeling yourself. And weight loss resistance, trouble losing weight. That's another common symptom of adrenal fatigue. So for the full expanded quiz, you can check the comment section below. So how do we know for sure? Because even quizzes like this, or questionnaires like this, there's a lot of things that can mimic that. It doesn't mean you have adrenal fatigue, because even if you have all these symptoms. So we have to do our due diligence from a clinical standpoint to find out actually what's going on in your case. So questionnaires are good pointers, quizzes are good pointers, but they're sub-diagnostic, meaning they're not lab. They're not labs. So we have to know from more of an evidence-based, definitive answer. If you are answering a lot of yeses to these questions, then yeah, we want to dig deeper and find out if it's an issue for you or not. So some of the labs that we run for patients around the world, again, we drop ship the labs to you to find out if your hormonal balance is, if adrenal fatigue is a factor for you, and then if it is, how to deal with it. We either do saliva tests, It's a lot of spit. It's about 5 vials of spit, but it's a lot of great information about your hormones, not just adrenal fatigue, but female hormones, so all the estrogen isomers, progesterone, testosterone, LH, FSH, a lot of good hormonal DHEA, looking at that too. And we also run this test for people as well. This is a urine test to look at, again, more expanded hormonal pathways to really understand the hormonal complexities of your body. We do blood tests as well to look at hormones. Blood typically looks at just a free fraction hormones. You're getting it a snapshot in the day. Sorry, the protein bound, not the free fraction hormone. And you're getting it whenever you went to the lab. So 7:59 a.m. on a Tuesday morning, we know where that serum testosterone or estrogen or cortisol is. But where's cortisol throughout the whole day? That's the question. Because it may be fine at 7:59 a.m. on a Tuesday morning, but where is it going out throughout the whole day? So these hormones panels can give a full rhythm of your hormones to understand the nuance and all the pieces to the puzzle of your hormonal pathways. Other labs to consider if you're going through adrenal fatigue would be microbiome labs, because remember, adrenal fatigue is a brain-based issue. Your second brain is your gut. So many brain-based issues actually have their origins in a poor gut health. And you don't have to have gut symptoms to have gut problems. And there's a lot of asymptomatic, localized digestive issues. There's no digestive symptoms that you notice, but you're noticing the far-reaching implications, the systemic aspects of a poor gut health. So we run microbiome tests, looking at bacterial imbalances in the gut, yeast and fungal overgrowth, digestion and absorption, inflammation in the gut. Inflammation in the gut can cause inflammation in the brain, decreasing or causing a dysfunction of the brain-adrenal communication line. So these are some things to consider too. And then methylation. Methylation is this big super biochemical highway. It makes for healthy brain function and gut function and hormone and detox pathways. It's super, 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 super important. It's a lot of supers. Now, methylation is needed to make healthy hormones and brain function. So we're dealing with brain and hormonal aspects to adrenal fatigue. So if you're not supporting methylation, if you have things like MTHFR genetic mutations or other genetic methylation polymorphisms, then you're going to be missing some major aspects to your health puzzle. So we run genetic tests for people to find out if they have these methylation gene impairments to support them accordingly. So those are some things to consider, guys, from a lab standpoint. What to do from here. So here's some foods to focus on, guys. Here's some practical foods to focus on to optimize brain-adrenal axis. Number one, oysters. It's rich in copper and zinc, which is needed for optimal brain function and neurotransmitter synthesis, definitely needed. Next one would be grass-fed organ meats, so grass-fed liver, things like this. Nobody is really eating these, right? But I mean, they are. Maybe you should. I think that this is a superfood. It's the most bioavailable source of B vitamins like B12, which are methyl donors, which you need for healthy brain function and hormone function, and downregulating inflammation. And we're putting some awesome recipes in the comment section below if you want to learn more about it. Leafy greens, so green leafy vegetables like spinach and kale and Swiss chard and kohlrabi. These guys are really good at increasing methylation as well, which is the help needed for healthy brain and hormonal function. And healthy fats. Your brain is 60% fat. 25% of all your body's cholesterol is in your brain. And hormones are made from cholesterol as well. So looking at things like avocado, looking at things like coconut oil, looking at things like extra virgin olive oil, and grass-fed ghee, these are all things that are important. And wild-caught fish, my favorite. And krill oil is good too. The next one would be adaptogens, the world of adaptogens. We're going to put in the comment section below my definitive guide, self-proclaimed definitive guide. It's pretty dang good. Guide on adaptogens to learn about all the adaptogenic goodness. We're putting some good brain health articles on there too to understand the full breadth of adrenal fatigue. So, adaptogens, they are a plant and herbal and earth medicine. There's some non-plant adaptogens that are good for balancing hormones. Whether your cortisol is high or too low, adaptogens are good at balancing out these stress hormones and other hormones like sex hormones and thyroid hormones as well. So some of the ones that I use personally, Four Sigmatic, my buddy Taro's company, good one, Cordyceps, and Sun Potion, good company as well. Mucuna pruriens, another adaptogen that I love. And Amanda Chantel Bacon's Moon Juice, her Spirit Dust, I like that with astragalus in it. Reishi, some adaptogenic mushrooms in there as well. And we also have Moon Juice's blue adaptogen protein that has some blue algae in there too, which is a good phytonutrients, good for brain function and detoxing, and a lot of good stuff. So we are a blend of adaptogens you can use in your daily life, and again, you can find these online. No, we're not selling any of them. I'm not sponsored by any of these companies, even though I love them all and are really great on a personal level. But we have pharmaceutical-grade adaptogen blends for patients, and it's based on their labs. It's customized on their labs. But I just wanted to show you some of the things that I use in my own personal life, because I have gone through adrenal fatigue in the past as well. But some other adaptogens that I didn't mention here specifically would be ashwagandha, holy basil, rhodiola. Are adaptogens good for everybody? Does all adaptogens work for everybody? No. So if you check the comment section below, your definitive adaptogen guide is going to tell you which ones are generally good for which people and what they do and how they work, all of that good stuff. So the next step, finding out if adrenal fatigue's a factor for you. We offer free webcam and phone health evaluations for people around the world. If you want to get a functional medicine perspective on what you're going through. And for those of you who want to learn more on their own, we have some awesome video classes that we have on our website. We have Heal Your Hormones, Brain and Gut, and we have Mastering Autoimmune Conditions and Inflammation with Functional Medicine. Those are 2 video courses you can take on your own without a doctor just to learn more great functional medicine health tips in your life. We dig deep into the research and practical application. We're really proud of those video classes. All right, guys, hopefully you have an awesome day. Hopefully this was beneficial and have good content amongst all the Facebook banter above and below this video on your feed. Hopefully this was edifying and awesome for you, transcendental for you. All right, guys, I will talk to you soon. For more information on functional medicine, go to drwillcole.com. We'll see you. Did I say .com? I said .com. drwillcole.com. We'll see you next week, guys. Bye.